See you, man.
Listen,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. You know what? Happy New Year. How has your year been thus far?
I mean, I started off at Times Square, and it just kept going from there.
So you're not in a new year. It's just rolling over, and the train is still running on the tracks.
It's doing this.
Sounds like another day in the life of Randy Lee.
Welcome to 2024.
Welcome to 2024. A couple of notables. You know, the last interviews I had was pretty funny. It was pretty fun and funny.
Who'd you have?
I had a bunch of mentors from the mentor program.
Okay.
And of course, I'm a senior mentor, so hearing other officers and other firefighters, their take on the mentorship program sounds very familiar because stuff I've heard before, but fresh faces and still singing the same tune, which is all positivity, of course.
Sounds really good.
You know, we could take a peek.
Let's do that.
And we have a couple of mentors. I am also a senior mentor for the program of the FDNY Mentorship Program. We have a couple others also. Go ahead, please introduce yourself.
I'm Mike Ryan. I'm a lieutenant in Engine 332 in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I've been a mentor for over a decade now.
That's right. That's right.
Nice.
How about you?
Firefighter Shamaree Graham down in the Bronx, Engine 43, Sedgwick Slashers. I've been a mentor in this program for a glorious 3 years.
Oh, solid 3 years. So big drop. I like that. Of course, John, go ahead. Introduce yourself, please.
John Moncayo. Nice to meet you, gentlemen. I've been on for about 5 years now from Jackson Heights, Ladder 154.
Okay.
And I have about 6 months on the mentorship program.
Oh, okay. So you're the most recent, huh?
I'm the junior guy today.
All right. So you know what? So let's give you this question. What is the mentorship program?
The mentorship program is the opportunity for firefighters and office fire officers to help candidates transition into the fire academy, into their probation years, and everything beyond that. For me, it's an opportunity to mentor the future of the FDNY and hey, to make a friend, you know.
I like it.
It is a big
it.
family after all.
Okay. How about you, Shamaree? What do you feel? How does it feel to give back to the mentorship program?
Super rewarding and absolutely a full circle moment.
Okay.
I can't imagine where I'd be in my career if not for my mentor.
Okay, because you also had a mentor before you got on. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, what about you, Mike?
I was not fortunate enough to have a mentor, considering I was one of the original mentors.
This is true.
But being a mentor for quite a while now, it's a very rewarding experience. I feel like the program has evolved and has grown, and it's definitely helped plenty of mentees become firefighters on this job, and you know, teach them the way of how the job's supposed to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. So advice to you got a new mentee, and they're just starting the process, or towards the middle of the process. What advice would you give them to keep them motivated?
Well, I always they always have paperwork questions for me. I'm like, listen, you might want to speak to your investigator, but I help with that as much as I can. But I tell them to physically prepare, obviously, because the fire academy can be physically intense at times, not impossible, of course. And just to prepare for how they do things at The Rock. You know, there's a certain culture of it, of course, where, you know, it's a paramilitary organization after all, and it's run as such. And just to prepare for that, and don't be so, you know, shocked and culturally shocked when it does happen.
What do you think? What is the value of the mentorship program?
It's immense. Having somebody to walk you through the process that's taken these steps already to kind of keep you accountable for all of the documents that you have to have submitted, the paperwork that you have to have publicly noted, and just all your I's dotted and T's crossed. I don't think I could have made it by myself.
Most people who get on this job, right, and if they usually work the 9 to 5 or beforehand. Right. And the one is, well, how much, I always hear that you guys have a lot of time off. When do I get to start taking my days? And I was like, and my number one question is, let's get through the academy first, and then we could talk about time off. I said your schedule is going to be pretty grueling for the next couple months, and let's take it week by week in the academy.
Did you tell them about standbys?
You know, it's a real thing, and you know, I don't want to scare guys, but it is a true reality, right? Standbys, but I do let them know the fire department, like you said, is a paramilitary organization, and we demand a lot out of you, right? Because this is a very serious job, and we want to make sure that they're mentally prepared for what's coming down the road. You know, sometimes,
Absolutely.
like you said, some people just think it's running into burning buildings and it's heroic like they see on TV, but sometimes there's more to it. So,
well, you know, that's the Candidate Mentorship Program, right? Because like as we're describing that everything we do as a team, we do together, so you're not doing it by yourself. And this is why the mentorship program came about, because the hardest part about this job is getting on. You know, guys will take years to get on. Some of those years, they're looking at like, oh, wow, that was quick. You got on a lot faster than I did, kid. Yeah. Well, how long did it take you? 8 years. And I'm like, how is that even possible? Yeah. And so you hear all these insane stories, but that's the mentorship program. And I'm quite sure I haven't really heard too many mentees complaining about having someone to help guide them into, you know, becoming a New York City firefighter.
Super invaluable.
Absolutely.
I'm actually on the list that my mentee's on, so that's how long this list is. I was in the first class of the list, and now they're like, what, 7 years later? He's asking me
Isn't
questions.
that amazing?
Yeah, it's insane.
And you're like, oh no, I remember exactly the paragraph you're talking about on that application sheet, because we're on the same list. Yeah. So that's probably very exciting for them. Like, all right, well, if you're there and we're on the same list, that's a good thing. Just tell them yes. Tell them yes. Just tell them we're not looking for 70,000 people, but we'll do the best we can. All right, well, thank you guys very much for stopping by.
Appreciate the time.
All right, we'll see you soon. What I tell you about Mike and Shamaree and John,
right? Yeah.
Yep, John. They're all very excited to be a part of the program, and you could kind of get the feeling like whether it was work related or not, they were going to be mentors.
But you got to go through that too. You're a senior mentor, right? So you've definitely gone through all those bits and pieces as well.
All the phases and understanding the process, and that's why I still to this day say the hardest part about our job is getting on. There's no easy. It's not just fill out a one-page application, like, all right, I'm good, expecting a call back.
Right.
Oh, you'll get a call back, but it's going to be from multiple people.
So I had an interview with Jamelle Dooley.
Okay.
He's from Diversity, Equity, Inclusion. And really cool stuff they're doing. I didn't realize they had their hands in a little bit of everything, but I don't want to spoil it, so we should just take a look.
I guess it might be in the name, diversity. Keep your hand in everything, right?
This is true. Yeah.
All right, take a look.
Today I am joined by
Jamelle Dooley
from
the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Unit.
Very cool. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So, can you give us a rundown on what your unit does and what you do there?
I'm responsible for interfacing with the affiliated organizations. We have 51 right now, and so it runs from baseball teams, cycling, to the Vulcan Society, the Hispanic Society, and everything kind of in between. And I'm also responsible for the budget, so I count the coins and make sure that we have money to do the things and the stuff for the people.
What is the agenda of a unit like that?
So that's difficult to answer.
Good, I love difficult questions.
It's very difficult to answer. And I think you might get a different answer depending on who in our unit or department you ask that question to. But our unit touches everything. We touches everything. It could be we seek to impact policy, which also impacts procedure. Okay. We try to advocate for folks who are underrepresented. We do programming, we do training, we do consultations. We've done some intermediary work. Right. It really, truly runs the gamut.
So as being part of the Phoenix Society, I know I've interacted with your group many times, and you guys are such a big help in terms of like us organizing events, and you guys are like that backbone support that we always look for. So we appreciate you. Now, I know that's what I get from you guys in terms of being a member of the Phoenix Society, but what about the general membership? Like how do you guys affect their work life?
We quite literally touch everything.
Yeah.
To your point, to any of the affiliated organization events. So Lunar New Year, Cinco de Mayo, Juneteenth, Black History Month, like that all comes out of our unit.
But we just had something that just passed, right? Like a kickoff weekend of sorts?
Are you talking about the MLK Junior Weekend of Service?
You like that segue?
Great transition.
Thank you.
Very YouTube of you.
I know. I have history. So let's talk about that.
Okay, so this was our second annual MLK Weekend of Service. So in the spirit of Dr. King and his infinite wisdom and desire to connect with all people, you're supposed to take that time to do community service, go connect with someone, go invest in something that will help another person. And so there was this overwhelming feeling that, like, we have to do something to commemorate this.
Right.
We really want to empower folks to be able to get out there and do something.
You got to do a lot. You really do have your hands dipped in a little bit of everything.
Genuinely, yeah.
Cool. So how would our membership get involved with you guys in the sense of, like, they want more information, they want to volunteer with you, they want to just be involved? Is that something that outside people not in the fire department can do, or our membership is currently already here?
So our unit, of course, is primarily focused on impacting the FDNY.
Sure, of course.
At all levels, but we're always looking for increased communication with folks. Feel free to, it could be something as mundane as, like, hey, I don't know or understand this concept. Can you help explain this to me? To something as intensive as, hey, I want to start my own affiliated organization. How can I go about that? Right. Maybe your org needs some money to help, fund a program. We might have some. Like, reach out to us. Yeah. It all starts with a conversation.
So that was Jamelle Dooley from the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office. I honestly didn't know they did so much stuff.
Well, that's a very informative episode.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
It's important to have a group like that within the realms of, like, the fire department or any municipality.
Anyone, 100%. When you got a diverse workforce, you definitely have to have someone be able to listen and communicate with all levels.
Make sure you're represented properly.
100%, 100%. And the fire department always aims to try and check that box.
Agreed. So, in case you missed it, last month we recapped all of 2023. We had a lot of guests.
The Fire Commissioner Kavanagh. Obviously on it, and Dr. Kwame Cooper, as we were pivoting.
Just a whole mess of others.
Yeah, and a lot of other individuals who share the passion of being a part of the fire department.
Yeah, they really do.
It was very impressive. Let's take a peek.
I want to make it common at some point for people to see other people in this seat, people that don't look like a lot of the commissioners. So, I'm definitely going to work on building a bench of leaders who can come after me. But I'd also say my vision for the department more broadly is just always to make a great place even better. We are the best, and I think we deserve the best. And I'm very competitive, as we've mentioned. And so whether that's, technology or equipment or safety or anything else, it's always about making sure we're either getting the best that's out there or even we're demanding what needs to be produced, because where we go, so does the fire service.
It's not really a job. It's, to me, like a way of life, like a way of contributing to people in the community, oftentimes on the worst day of their life.
It's true.
And they call us to come as firefighters and EMS professionals to fix it. That's a gift.
That is a gift.
I love it.
We started off, swinging heavy with the fire commissioner, of course, and then Dr. Kwame Cooper, and then we worked our way pretty much up, down, and going to the Rock, right? Going from the Rock to Fort Totten to back to headquarters. All members in the field. That was a good year.
Yeah, well,
that was a good way to start. 2024. Let's see what else we could add for more.
Yeah, I'll see you in the next episode.
Absolutely, pal. All right. See you soon.